I'm Rantasmo, and strippers need more gay. Few legal occupations are as stigmatized as that of the stripper, but as of late, certain aspects of the culture have gradually seeped into areas of relative respectability. Pole dancing isn't just a job anymore, it's a legitimate form of exercise. Burlesque has enjoyed something of a cultural renaissance, attracting satiric performance artists and total geeks alike. It's an environment where sexuality seems to be very fluid, so for the next couple episodes, I'm going to be looking at some movies that revolve around the topic of stripping. And I'm naturally going to start on the male side of things by comparing the 1997 British comedy The Full Monty to last year's Magic Mike. For starters, these two movies deal with the topic of stripping in very different ways. In The Full Monty, stripping is fun and silly, and in its own way, even sort of innocent in the way it's portrayed. Our amateur strippers don't come across as sexual so much as adorable. Aw, who's a good little stripper? Maybe because stripping isn't an actual career for any of these guys. They're just unemployed steel workers looking to make a quick buck and learn a little something about each other along the way. It's more like a brief, harmless respite from the gloom of ruinous poverty. It's a comedy. With Magic Mike, stripping is still fun, but it also has a sleazy, corrupting influence, in that it naturally leads to drugs and punching people. This movie was quite a bit darker than I think anyone expected. The trailers and the hype kind of made it seem like it was just going to be 2 hours of hotness, which is fine, but that kind of appeal kind of fades once you remember that free porn exists. Hey, wait. Free porn exists. Anyways, even though Magic Mike turned out to be something very different from that, it seemed to be very aware of its marketing. In its opening scenes, the movie basically goes, okay, you want what you came here for? Fine. Here's a butt. Now get ready for some character development! Even though it certainly has its share of eye candy from very recognizable actors, the way it's shot and scripted feels very indie. The Full Monty is almost a total inversion of that. It's a much broader comedy, but it's cast in a very non-Hollywood way. The characters are old, overweight, not entirely white, and our youngest, most conventionally attractive guy, who in any other movie would be an avatar for all the heterosexual 18 to 24-year-olds in the audience, is in fact one of two token gays. You can tell they're gay because they look at each other and hold hands for a sec. Yeah, almost no one in this movie gets a fully fleshed out story arc, but it would have been nice if they'd explored this a little bit more than they did. As it stands, they're just kind of there. Like, this is literally it. I got nothing. Magic Mike also has a light dusting of queerness, but oddly enough, it comes in the form of a lady. Olivia Munn is sort of a bisexual Veronica to Channing Tatum's Archie. She's hardly sympathetic, but she's at least a little bit more fun and interesting than most characters who fall into the disposable fiancé role. In this case, she's disposable because she turns out to be someone else's fiancé. The film's obviously got some more blatant appeal for gay men than The Full Monty. Depending on your preferences, plenty of female gays at work, this is a decent use of your Joe Manganiello. But on the whole, both of these movies are pretty straight, which for a movie about dudes getting naked together is kind of impressive. It seems kind of weird that the stripper movie that seems to resonate most with gay men is about ladies getting naked. But we'll talk about that next time. Wonder how I can occupy myself until then.